Hi, I'm Milla and welcome to another Milla's Game Room video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 more RPGs that are great but you might not have heard of. This is a follow-up to a video I did months ago now where first one I showed my face, and the second was I did 5 great RPGs, and this is 5 more. So if you like what you see here, etc., please like, comment, subscribe and boost the video, etc., algorithm, all that kind of thing. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. So in this video I've got all these games are across different platforms. A couple of them, I believe, are exclusive, or at least console exclusive. But you can basically, you could track them down at least digitally. So anyway, that said, I'm gonna start with the Switch games. I've got 2 that I've got on Switch, and one of them is probably the most well-known one in this video, which I'll get out of the way now. And that is Rune Factory 4 Special. This was the game that basically rebirthed the Rune Factory series, because Rune Factory is a spin-off series of the Harvest Moon or Bokudo Monogatari, Story of Seasons, which is a whole confusing name thing, but basically this is from the original developers of Story of Seasons, Harvest Moon, not the shit Natsume puts out. And this particular spin-off series is part RPG, part farming sim, and this was the last game that was released originally before Neverland went bankrupt in 2013 for the 3DS. We were lucky to get it in North America and Europe, and then later they made a new studio, Hakima, which basically started bringing this back. And then Rune Factory 5, which I've not played yet, I do want to though, and then Rune Factory 3 Special, which has just been announced, which is a remaster of Rune Factory 3 for the Nintendo DS. And this game was basically I love this game so much. You go into you lose your memories, you land in this little town, and you got to start building your own life up. It's really cool. And then you got the village, the farming with your garden, and then you go out into the field for story quests, including dungeons. It's really cool. In this game, you got thrilling fantasy adventure. And even then, you can kind of get your own eventually make connections, make friendships, and eventually get your own husbando or waifu, which I say that, but this entry didn't have same-sex marriage included. Rune Factory 5 does, and well as other recent Story of Seasons games that was added in. This game doesn't, and it was something it was criticised for, and I get that, I fully get that. I would have liked a gay marriage in this game, because being gay is great. But other than that, you can't really go wrong with this. It's fantastic. I enjoy it. I recommend it. Especially now it's quite cheap, especially compared to when it came out. It's a lot cheaper now, so if you had Pixie it, I would suggest picking this up. Next game I recommend is a dungeon RPG. This one came out originally in Japan for the PlayStation Vita, but then eventually came west on the PS4, the Switch, and Steam. This game is Labyrinth of Refrain, Coven of Dusk. This game is, you play as the Tractus de Monstrum, as a little book, and you can make your own puppets, and you are basically doing the bidding of the main character, a witch called Dronia, who's deliberately awful. Basically, it's kind of a spiritual sequel to Witch 100 Night in that sense, which is another Nipponichi game, which I've not played, where the protagonist was just an intentionally cruel witch, which people like that, which I thought was interesting at times, but it did kind of it wasn't the best at times. But that aside, because I think it's worth mentioning that, don't let it detract you, because the dungeon RPG mechanics in this are really deep. You can have your covens, get multiple puppets together as one coven, and then you go into these dungeons with all these really weird and wonderful designs. And in dungeons, even when you get attacked, you can watch your own puppets, level up your classes. So another thing is, if you go into a dungeon, you can actually get your limbs cut off when you're attacked by an enemy. So it's basically you lose your arms and your limbs, and it's things like limiting your HP and that kind of thing. It has some really cool ideas. The bosses are great. The enemy variety is good as well. It's just a really unique RPG, and I really like it. I would definitely recommend this. This is now extremely cheap. Especially now that the sequel, Labyrinth of Galleria, the Moon Society, that's what it's called in English. They got its name changed. Is coming westward next year. That also has taken a long time like this game. That was also for the PS Vita in 2020. So that's how old this game is. And also, why would you release a Vita game in 2020? It's not a visual novel. Anyway, I definitely recommend that one too. Right, next one is a PSP game. This one got ported to PC later on, so if you want to get it, PC's your best shot, or PSN for Vita, which, well, why would you do that when you can just, well, both sides of the point, you can just get it on PC. And this game is East 7. This is the first East game I played. I figured I'd start with 7 because I knew 8 was better, and Silsetta, they were better, and I knew that if I played this, I would probably not struggle to come back to it as much. So I played this one first, and it was great. You go as Adil in the Kingdom of Altargo, you go around with Dogi and other party members you meet. This was the first game that introduced the systems you see in Silsetta 8, like the multiple party members and that kind of thing. The setting's really nice, the music's great. I do like this one. Obviously other games in the E-series are better, 8, for example. And if you're starting with other East series, this is a good place to start, especially if you want to look at an older East game. As I said at the start, it's now on PC, so if you want to get it officially, get it on PC, because now this is expensive, so good luck getting this. Alright, now number 4 is the exclusive in this list, because it is a 3DS game, and it is, well, it's only on one platform, and even though it's a great game, and that's Project Cross Zone. So this is actually the second in Bandai Namco's crossover RPG series, where they had Namco x Capcom, which was Japan exclusive. That was for the PlayStation 2. This game, and then Project Cross Zone 2, which is not being shown in this video. This one is the second one. It's the first one that came to the West. It did quite well, but I think at this point it has largely been forgotten about because it's still exclusive to the 3DS. It has gotten more expensive. This basically all sorts of chaos and time and space. You get characters from various Bandai Namco IPs, Capcom IPs, Sega IPs, all come together, having to go save the world and sort everything out. And featured series include the likes of, I have it on the back of the box here, let's have a quick read. Resident Evil, Dead Rising, Devil May Cry, Valkyria Chronicles 3, so that's Japan only one, not the one that came here officially, Sakura Wars, from basically 1, 3 and 5, Virtua Fighter, Tales of Vesperia, Tekken God Eater, and some obscure ones as well, like Cyberbots, Eumeria, which is actually a visual novel IP for some reason, that was in here, Zombie Revenge, Space Channel 5, whole bunch here. It's I liked it because it's chaos, basically. It's the plot is kind of hard to follow, but that's okay. It's just oh whoa, this is just all these characters together interact with each other, and just all these visuals and amazing anime. It looks great, and I love it. I'm playing the second one right now, and it does fix a few of the flaws in this version. So this game does does take a bit longer to beat. Some of the battles are quite long. If you're playing this, be sure to use quick save and stuff like that, and this hasn't got the quality of life improvements found in the second game, but this game is great, it's fantastic, and hopefully in the future we'll get a few more of these crossover games like this, because Project Cross Zone's great, and I definitely recommend this one. It's better get ready for those long play sessions. And finally for number 5 we have Utara Prelude to the Fallen. Now this is I say console exclusive, but it's on the PS4 and PC, but it's also on the Vita digitally as well. But if you're gonna get this, it'll either be physically on PS4 or digitally on Steam, which they go on sale pretty often on Steam. And this is the first game in the Utara series. This is the strategy RPG series Aquaplus are most well known for. If you know what Utara is, you'll know that it's Aquaplus. It's their most well-known franchise, especially because they've released almost nothing but Utara these past 5 years. But that's beside the point. This particular game is the second remake of the first game. So you had Utara for PC back in 2002, then you had the PlayStation 2 and PSP version, which was a remake of that, and then you've got this version, which is a remake based off the mechanics in Deception and Truth. Now, this is actually a standalone game. You don't need to play the other two Utara ever to understand this one. And the gameplay is great if you've played Mask of Deception, Mask of Truth, or Sting SRPGs. This game will be very familiar to you. It's right at home. I mentioned Sting because Sting co-developed this, so you get some of the Sting RPG mechanics as well, which is a whole other thing. So Story's great as well. The upgraded like HD enhancements are great as well. You can like see the updated like CGs and portraits, and you can also see the gameplay. You can play either like the old music from the original release or the reorchestrated stuff, which also features rearrangements from Deception and Truth as well. It's also great. And yeah, I do really like this game. I do recommend it, especially if you can track down like physical or get a PC version on sale. It's goes for like, at the moment when it was on sale, it was like for a tenner, which is really good actually. Probably a bit more than a tenner actually, but still really cheap for this. So, you know, I definitely recommend this one. And I'm going to do a video about this on its own at some point soon, because I do want to talk about this one in more detail, especially because it's like such an iconic game, not just for strategy RPGs, but for visual novels too. So yeah, this is a hybrid as well, so a lot of text, that kind of thing. A lot there, but a lot to love as well. And that's going to be it for this video. Let me know if you played any of these games, let me know if you've got thoughts on them, if there's any you can get. I recommend basically all of them, so if you see them around, especially the more expensive stuff like Project Crossroad and E7 for a reasonable price, pick them up, they're great, they're fantastic. And just, I'm going to do a part 3 eventually, as well as one for visual novels, because I'm going to do a visual novel one like this, because I like doing them, as well as one for fan translations eventually when I finally get around to that. So thank you so much for watching, thank you, please like, comment, subscribe, etc. and so on and so forth. Bye bye.